whether it's next year, 10 years, 20 years from now, you'll never be able to say that these brothers lied to you, Jack.
Good news, boys. I don't have to give her the customary full minute of not listening to what she has to say, because she's not about to say anything as ridiculous as the things that we've gone across on this channel before. If you are unaware, this here is Sandra Faye. She is a content creator who speaks on a lot of the issues that we've talked about in the past in regards to Black America and Black women and the like. And honestly, she fine as hell. She has a man, she has a baby daddy, but she does not wear a wedding ring. So we are fully free to continue to objectify her and that very, very supple bottom lip of hers. I mean, she looked like Gina from Martin, first season. Ugh. But either ways, Miss Faye, she has a message for FBAs who, if you're unfamiliar, are descendants, are the same as ADOS, descendants of American slavery, to which she claims to be one of us. And, with that being said, we're going to get into exactly what she has to say here. All right, let's get it, boys.
Before everyone starts thumb thugging in my comment section, we need to understand that whenever we're having conversations, stupid people will always enter the chat, okay? They will enter the chat and bastardize any argument, any phrase, any term, any idea that they can find. It's the one thing they know how to do very well, is to mess things up and completely miss the plot, completely miss the points, and then have everybody arguing with each other over things that shouldn't even be issues. As some of you may already know, your girl is a Black American, okay? I will be considered an FBA. Now, let's get into the background of what FBA actually is. My understanding is that this is a term created by and popularized by Tariq Nasheed. Now,
which is exactly why I do not use that term. I would be better off using the term ADOS, like American Descendants of Slavery, than FBA. But, culture takes what the culture takes, and the culture's decided to take the term FBA and really run with it. So, I'm never listened to, I know.
Whether or not he created it, I'm not 100% sure, but he was the first person that I heard use that term, and this was years ago. Essentially, it was a term to delineate Black Americans from Black everywhere else, okay? Give us our own title, our own name within the diaspora. FBA.
And the funny part is, we can't even agree to that. You'll never catch it, but as I've stated on this channel several times, this is something that definitely needs to be pronounced and reverberated throughout the communities and culture, because we've had so many people come through and pretend to be us and, really use our history to their own benefit. Remember 2020 with George Floyd and the like.
Is pretty much a cult, okay? So they're not beating those charges. If you look at the pillars of what a cult is, they hit all the marks. So I'm not going to be delusional, okay? I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to be deaf, dumb, and blind and pretend as though this isn't a cult, okay? It's a cult based on lineage. And before you get in your fifis, my fellow FBAs, let's just be honest with ourselves and look in the mirror. Now, I do think that there is some value in delineating, okay? There is some value in that. But like I said, stupid people always enter the chat. And I got a perfect, chef's kiss, perfect example. I've talked about this before. There are terms that FBA people use, right? For instance, the biggest one that everyone knows is Tether.
And that's why we're here, boys, because she's about to she's going to explain what a tether is, or her idea of what a tether is, and I am going to explain exactly why I disagree.
Tell you what a tether actually is, and then I'll tell you what tether is used for, by pretty much everyone else, right? A tether was meant to describe somebody that was technically Black, but not from America, and then they come to America, or they observe Black Americans from wherever they're at, and they basically talk down and denigrate Black Americans while uplifting their own culture, calling Black Americans lazy, ghetto, all these different things.
And that's one of the bigger problems that I have, because since the 70s, early 70s, we've been migrating people here that share the same melanin tones and skin complexions that we do, and they can go and do wild stuff. And to the average, and heck, even to our eyes, we'll look at them and be like, oh well, they just black, and they're just black, they just black. It is what it is. It's the same way Barack Obama was able to get into office, is because, you know, oh my goodness, our ancestors, our histories, his father was from Africa, and his mother was white and from Kansas or Missouri or something like that. And so the question is like, okay, which side of the history are you talking about there, Barack? I've done tons of videos on that, but let's continue. Gina from Martin, who is one of those light skins who will say that she got her like, oh, I'm light skinned because of slavery. And it's like, sis, slavery was 400 years ago, 26.6 generations ago. Granny was sucking some white meat. But let's continue.
And just being very disrespectful, and also cosplaying, right? And also cosplaying as Black Americans. That term was supposed to describe a very particular type of foreign Black person, not all foreign Black people.
And that's where I'm thinking maybe it should. We should use it as a term to describe all foreign. And by foreign, I mean from, if you got here in 2012, or if you got here 1998, you are a first generation or second generation American, then yeah, if you got here like in the past, 50 years, or your family got here in the past 50 years, yeah, you're still a tether, okay? Because you wasn't there for the ass whoopings. My family was. We've gone over this plenty of times. My family's plantation was in South Carolina. I've been to it. And while there, I showed absolutely nothing but gratitude and respect to those who came before me, because I've gotten to live a really good life. Comparatively speaking, a really good life, thanks to all that they'd gone through. And that connection right there is what's missing, which is why, we're deemed as lesser, which is why we're deemed as beneath all these other groups, is because we have so many people who come in and use that history, use those ass whoopings that they weren't here for. Their family wasn't here for. They have no generational linkage to, America and the building of America, but they get to use that history as a means in which to make a better way for themselves. And the white folks that we tend to talk about, yeah, they don't know the difference. So we need to start really, really highlighting and making making that difference loud and proud and known.
Of course, stupid people, like I said, they always enter the chat. You had two different types of stupid people, right? You had the stupid non-Black Americans who were like, well, if you said this about African or this, you mean all Africans. No. Okay, if the shoe fits, what does Blunt Girlie say? Lace it. If you're not fitting into that category of disrespecting, denigrating, trying to play some kind of competition with Black Americans, then that term was not meant for you. It was.
And you know what? You might be 100% correct. Not all of them do it, but enough of them do it. Whereas, yeah, Tether should be a catch-all. Tether should delineate that, you're just not one of us. We're not the same thing. Now, whether or not you want to take it as a negative, you want to, or denigrated, not is denigrative is not a word, or as we're trying to denigrate you, I'm sorry for you. Sorry, Charlie, is what it is. But there should be terminology. And because this is like the largest word, honestly, hey, if the culture so deems it, that's what the culture should say, sweetheart. All right. And seriously, still looking at that bottom lip of yours.
Not meant to describe you. If you are not going out of your way to disrespect Black Americans as a foreign Black person, the term tether was never meant to describe you. But there are a lot of stupid people that they take offense to everything without even reading the definition or understanding what it actually means. So they get offended and then they go, wow, why are you calling all Africans tethers? Why are you tether? And it's like, no, that's not what the term was meant to be used for. Now, enter the other side of stupid people, okay? The stupid FBAs. Now, you have some people that are FBA, they will hear a term like that, and they will just use it for anyone who pisses them off that happens to be African or Caribbean. So even if that person isn't denigrating Black Americans as a whole, and they just get on that one particular person, and they piss that person off, oh, you're just a tether, you're just a tether. And it's just like, no. And there's a perfect example of this. So way back when, it was not.
Okay, yeah, we're not getting into all that because ultimately I don't care. I just wanted to have a little conversation about the tether as well as objectify this chick. Now, guys, if she was rocking her wedding ring, it'd be something completely different. I would not be objectifying her like that, but she's not. So yeah, by all means, sweetie, yeah, I definitely would like to see what the back of them guts feel like. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments, okay? Not just about her fineness, because yeah, she fine as hell, but I also take a little bit of umbrage with her just being like, oh, well, it's a stupid position to have, you know? Like, sweetie, it's not a stupid position to have. And honestly, like, I have no doubt that you are a descendant when I have you, but let's not act like, yo, your light-skinnedness comes from slavery. It does not. It cannot, because slavery was 26 generations ago, all right? So, like, yeah, you have something else up in you, without question, but I mean, and that's, guess what? Me too. My mom was mixed. My dad is from South Carolina. My mom, she's from up north. She's from New Jersey. And honestly, she was super light-skinned. If you go far enough back on the channel, you'll see a picture of my mother. She was ridiculously light-skinned too. So please don't take it as any type of insult. But, you know, as far as your like lineage goes, like, yeah, there's a lot of dilution there. So, and not due to slavery, okay? But guys, let me know what you think in the comments, all right? Should Tether be a catch-all? Is it fine for Tether to be a catch-all? Do you want to or do you have suggestions for other terms that could be used to describe it in a, I guess, less derogatory way? That's what my comment section's for, boys. Till next one.
Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Every breath I take without your permission raises my self-esteem.